This is one of our cards this evening, right here. Isn't that cute? He's the cutest. I feel like I should name him. This is the first card that we're going to create tonight, all right? Hi, Laura. I'm not sure if I said hi to you or not. All right, ladies, if you've got your mini, we are on page 54 and 55. The Snail Mail Suite is available to the very end of June. So we still have a couple of months with this cute little set. I'm just taking a little sip of water there. Okay, so let's look at what's included in the suite. And we'll start with the stamp set. It's called Snailed It. Thank you, Sonia. I'm so glad you like them. Thank you, thank you. It's called Snailed It. And we've got these cute little figures in here, and they can be colored with their Stampin' blends. And then right up here, ladies, we've got a rectangle, the rectangle scalloped punch coordinates with this stamp set. And I've got a little trick that I can show you tonight, okay? Okay, oh, a Willie, that's a good idea. We could name our stamp Willie. If you look at the catalog, you're gonna see that, and let me just turn it over. Maybe it's on this page, no. So right here in this stamp set, do you see that these images are shaded in or they're highlighted? That means they have either a punch or a die that coordinate with it, okay? So that's what we're doing tonight. I'm gonna show you in more detail what the dies can do in just a second, okay? Carol, I'm sorry you're having trouble with your internet. That is no fun. All right, ladies, if you purchased my share in January, you have this in your box, okay? So let's look at it. We've got these darling little envelopes and boxes, and I'll put that right there. I did zoom in here, so I'm gonna flip this over, and you actually get postage stamps on the other side. They're in Real Red, Blushing Bride, and Bermuda Bay. So that's our second one. Maybe I'll zoom out a little. And then we have this cute little paper. By the way, this designer paper is 12 by 12. I cut it to 6 by 6 for my paper share. Okay, so that's why you're seeing 6 by 6. Now the die will cut out this snail, okay? And it will also cut out this envelope. And you're gonna notice that in this piece of designer paper because I've already cut out a few envelopes and one of the snails. And this is the other side, and it's Bermuda Bay, okay? Now another sheet are the mushrooms. They are super cute. So I'm not sure why the mushrooms are with the snail. Maybe snails like to hide under mushrooms, or maybe they eat them. I'm not sure, and I didn't even think to look. But that's another piece. And then the opposite side is right here, and you guessed it, there's a die to cut out these word bubbles, all right? And we'll be doing that tonight as well. And then we have this sweet little snail. And yes, there is a die that cuts out this snail right here. It's this one, okay? And then we get some big mushrooms right here. And if I flip it over, I've got these sweet little hearts, which we are going to use tonight. And I think this is the last paper, this one right here. And these are smaller snails, and it's got Bermuda Bay in the background, and you could probably use Pool Party as well. This side has dotted lines, which reminds me when I was a kid in school and you would learn how to print and, you know, try and print within the lines. And then I showed you the opposite side of that. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I have shown you all of the designer papers in this set. Okay, hello Mary, good to have you tonight. Now let me show you what these dies can do, all right? And if you'll excuse me for 1 minute, I had closed the door to my stamp room and it's really warm in here. So let me open that up. Okay, so I'm back now, and one of the first dies that you'll notice is a scallop square, and then along that scallop square you'll see some stitching right here, okay? And so that's one of the dies right there. Lee, I will be able to explain that for you using the punch and the dies as we go through the cards tonight, okay? So that's a great question, and I'll do that as we make our cards. I know, Mary, this is the cutest sweet ever. Okay, so that's the square die that comes in the set, and then there is a die so that you can stamp the snail and cut it out. And then of course you can also cut out the snail in the designer paper. All right, so there's that one. And then when you stamp it, you can actually punch it out with the rectangle scallop punch. All right, and this punch is going to carry over to our new annual catalog, okay? So basically I stamped that, and I'll show you the stamped image. And let's see, where is it? It is right here, all right? And then I punched it out with the rectangular punch, all right? Okay, so that's the snail. Then we have this other snail, okay, that you can stamp and cut out. And there is one right here that we're going to cut out tonight for our card. Oh, the square die, Maria, is part of the snail mail set, okay? So this square punch is part of the snail mail set, all right? I am very happy that the punch is carrying over. I really like it, so I'm glad it's going to carry over. All right. So, okay, so we talked about the large snail. Then you can stamp the mushroom, and you can also cut that out with one of the dies. Hi, Laura. Okay, now there is also a die that will cut out this tiny envelope, all right? So let me show you what that die looks like. It looks like this, and then you fold it and you create this envelope. And we'll actually do this tonight, okay? So you'll get to see us do that. Here is the word bubble right here, where you can cut this out from designer paper. And you can also stamp the word bubble and the word to go inside, okay? Hi, Sharon. All right, now some other sweet little die cuts that don't have coordinating stamps. We've got our mushroom, and then we have two smaller mushrooms here, okay? There we go, right there. And then we also have, there is a heart stamp, and here's the heart die, and you can cut out two hearts at one time. So there are two heart dies, two small mushroom dies, and then the larger one. Hi, Pam. I'm so happy you joined us tonight. So good to have you, girl. All right. This is another piece right here. And this can actually go on the front of the envelope. And I should have cut that out in a different color, But there is a die right here that you can cut out and you can pop it up on top of the envelope. And you could even stamp hello along this, okay? Now another one, this is what we use the rectangle punch with. So there is a stamp for this, and then you punch it out with the rectangular punch. I don't know if it's rectangle or rectangular. I have to look and see. Now, you can also punch this out with the punch, and then take the die, and you can cut out a die. All right, you can cut out that envelope. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this envelope right here is from the designer paper, as well as this envelope, okay? So that envelope can be cut out using a die, all right? So I hope that makes sense. I didn't get a chance today to tape that down and label it, but I think that gives you a good idea of what our punch can do as well as the dies. And you'll see more of that as we create tonight's cards, okay? All right, it is super warm in my room tonight and I'm like fanning myself with the cardstock. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way, okay? Hi, Jean. You're never late to the party, Jean. Always happy to have you, okay? We're gonna get started with that first card. So I'll bring that in. I'm gonna move some things around. Okay. All right, we're about ready to get started. And we're actually going to start with a real red card base. Joyce says, I have a snail stamp I got many years ago, and I used a sentiment, or maybe I just wrote it on, and said, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I'm thinking Wink of Stella would be good, and I think that snail facing left would be perfect. I love it, absolutely. And leave a Stella trail, absolutely. Hey, Tara, you're never too late. Never too late. I'll catch you later, Linda. Thank you. All right. Kay says, I just heard today that you can turn the heart upside down in a different color to go behind the mushroom top. All right. Well, we might have to try that, Kay. Cool. All right. All right, so let's start. This is a standard card base, okay? And it's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then you score it at 4 1/4. Now, if I'm going too fast, or if you want to see me cut cardstock and how to score this, I can do that, especially if you're new to stamping, because there really is a way to cutting paper so that you cut it efficiently and you don't waste paper. So if you ever want to know, I can certainly help you with that. Okay. So our Whisper White cardstock, and actually I guess I should call it basic white now. This is going to measure 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches, okay? And then our designer paper, 5 1/8 inch by 4 inches, okay? So we're gonna tape these two together, and ladies, I need my glasses. I have to grab my readers, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. All right. So I'm just gonna add the seal to this. And then we're gonna add it to the white. I'm gonna center this, and I think you're gonna have about 1/8 inch all the way around, okay? Now, before I tape this down to the card base, we are going to want to do some stamping, and then we're going to tie some twine, okay? And I actually forgot to show you the twine. The twine comes together in a package with this suite, and it's called the Snail Mail Twine Combo Pack. And let's see, I want to say there's 15 yards of each one, I believe. You get Blushing Bride and Whisper White, okay? And then the resin hearts we're going to use tonight, this is also part of the suite. By the way, if you purchased my embellishment share, you have a half a sheet of these. Now, these little darlings are hearts. Aren't they cute? And they come in real red and the Whisper White, okay? All right, so let me get some paper here so we can do some stamping. And my paper fell on the floor. Let's see, what else could happen? All right, we're gonna use some real red ink, okay? And I'm gonna ink this up. And I'm gonna stamp it just like that. I'm actually gonna make 2 of these because I'm gonna cut out one of these envelopes, okay? And then I'm going to stamp this word bubble, and I'll put this right here, okay? I have a little bit of a line, but I'm not concerned about that because the die is going to cut it, okay? All right. So Maria, what is on back order? Is it the punch or the snail mail? I didn't even think to check the inventory report today for that. All right, so those are going to be cut out, and then we're going to be cutting out one of these snails. I'm just going to go ahead and cut around the snail so that we can use the mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine, okay? And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? We do need to stamp hello. We can go ahead and do that. All right, and I'm probably gonna want it, how do I want that? I'll stamp it just like that, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and let's punch out, oh, the heart punch is on back order. All right, so we're gonna punch that out. See that beautiful little scallop that we get, and it looks like a postage stamp, okay? I have another one to cut out here, and I'm just gonna center this. And now that one is punched out. And since we're gonna use the mini cutting machine, I'm gonna cut this down because remember, the platform is about 3 inches wide, okay? So I don't think that will fit through. Let me see if there's anything else that we are going to cut out. I think it's those 3 items. I'm gonna zoom out. And we're gonna get our machine over here, all right? And you'll get to take a look at the dies. We will need this die right here and this die. And I believe, is this the die that I want? That is the die that we're gonna use, okay, to cut out our snail. All right, so let's get these moved out of the way and we'll bring the mini on over here. And here it is. And we're going to be using platform number 1, cutting pad number 2. We're making that sandwich. And we're going to add our little snail right here with the die. All right, and I'm looking at this sideways, ladies, so hopefully I've got it where it needs to be. And I think I'm just going to cut out this one piece, okay? All right. And we'll go ahead. Now, if you're having trouble rolling your plates through your mini machine, there's our cute snail. If you are having trouble, you may notice that my cutting pads were not even, all right? And so sometimes that helps when you are cutting these things out, okay? So keep that in mind. This is going to be really tricky because we're going to cut two things and hopefully keep everything in its place. All right, we're going to hold our breath. Remember, that's the trick. Hold your breath, and then we're going to roll it through. Now, look, my plates aren't very even, okay? But it's rolling through fine, and it's certainly safe to do that, okay? Sometimes it's harder when the plates are exactly even. So there's our word bubble. And let's see if we can get that up. Here is our envelope. All right. Okay, now try not to lose these little pieces. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. We will use it again later. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our twine wrapped around here. Oh, good, Carol. The Wi-Fi's working again. All right. So I'm going to do two. I'm going to make this pretty long, okay? I can't even tell you how. I'm just guessing. You get so much twine anyway that I'm making it even. I'll try and guesstimate. These are probably 20 inches each, 22 inches. I really don't know. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap this around the card, okay? There we go. And towards the middle, and you see I've got those two strands. I'm gonna tie a bow. All right, this twine is thin, so it looks nice when you've got two strands. All right, and so there's our bow right there. I'm gonna even this up a little bit. Okay, just like that. That should do it. I'll go ahead and trim the tail. And we can actually tape this together. All right, so we'll go on and do that now. And we're gonna add it to the real red card base. All right. Okay, all right. Now, you didn't see me cut out the square. I've already done that. And the nice thing about this square is, look at the ends. It looks like a postage stamp, doesn't it? And so this is the square. This die comes with the set. Love this little square. And I don't think this is carrying over. I think this is going to be an item that is going to retire with the June 30th catalog, okay? We're going to pop up our sweet little snail. All right. And I am using the ends of my dimensionals, trying to use every little bit right along here. That's probably overkill. I know I have too many. All right. And this little sweet guy is going to just rest right on that square. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit, ladies. There we go. Okay. Now we can add the hello bubble. And we're going to pop this up as well. Now, if I wanted, I could actually cut out this bubble. It's in the designer paper, remember? And what else is nice about the designer paper is we have different languages. So if you wanted French or German, you could use that as well. So now we're going to take our postage I've got to find everything now. I am looking for this, the one that has not been cut out, but if I don't find it, that's okay. Let's see. I do not see it. I stamped 2 of these. Oh, here it is, right here. All right. So we're going to use seal on this. And I'm using the seal with this. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. And I'll put this about right here. Okay. And then I'm going to take that sweet little envelope and I'm going to pop it up. Now, I could have used this one. I could have used that and popped up the envelope too, okay? But I didn't do that, all right? So there, isn't that cute? He's just so darn cute. And the paper's really sweet too. So I'm gonna take one of our hearts and I'm going to put right on top of that envelope. Then I'm going to put, and these are tricky. I should probably use my take your pick tool. It might even be easier. And there's a heart. And there's a heart. And that is our first card that I'll be giving away tonight. I know. It looks like a polka dot paper. It's tiny, tiny little hearts. Isn't that cute, Tara? It's just adorable. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm going to get us set up and ready for our next card. I'm going to move those dots. I know we'll use them again. Thank you, Pam. So glad you like it. All right. Now, this little cutie, I actually got a chance to color. Isn't he cute? So let's go over the measurements. All right. Hang on one second. I know, I still love it too. I still love it too, Tara. I know, the hearts are so cute. Okay. So for our next card measurements, we're using the same measurements for the card base, okay? I know, it's so easy to overlook, Joyce, and like I said, it's been sitting on my shelf since January, and I finally pulled it out, and it's just adorable. And I think we'll probably make a couple of more, either a card and a project next week or 2 cards. We will see, but I think we'll continue on with the snail set because it's just too fun. Okay, your Whisper White needs to measure 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And then your designer paper is going to measure 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Hi, Denise. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. Now, this one we're just going to tape right to the Whisper White paper. Okay, so we'll get that done first. We're going to center it. Again, it's about 1/8 of an inch going all the way around. And then we're going to pop it up on the card base, which is something that I think is really fun. It gives interest to the card. I really like it. So we're going to pop up these 2 layers. Okay. Oh, the punch that I used, Margaret, it's in the annual catalog. Yes, annual catalog, page 168. It's called the Rectangular Postage Stamp Punch. That's a mouthful. It's going to carry over. It's got some more coordinating stamp sets that are coming our way. And so I think you'll get a lot of mileage out of the punch. I'm planning on getting mileage out of mine. And I'm going to show you a trick in just a few minutes that makes this punch very versatile. Okay? All right, the next thing is we'll go ahead and we'll add our postage square. There it is. Isn't that cute? This just gets taped as well. And I want you to notice that it's not really positioned like this. It's kind of more like this. It's just kind of off center, okay? So we can do that there. Now let's talk about You Snailed It, okay? So let me get some paper. We can use this piece right here, I think. Let's see. Yep. And then we're going to use real red ink. No problem. It's hard to see. It's very faint print, so it's hard to see. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this here. I want you to watch this trick now. It's magic, all right? It's my magic trick for tonight. We're going to go ahead and we're going to punch this, let's say about right there, okay? All right. Then we're going to take a Post-it note. We're going to add that stamped greeting, and then I'm going to slide in again, okay? And I am going to line up the sides, all right? And yes, they can line up with these little teeny little, see those little marks? You can line it up right like that. Okay, let's get this off maybe. This is just the Post-it note, so not a big deal. And I've made this smaller, okay? Using the very same punch. How cool is that? So I can almost make it any size that I want. If the words were bigger, I could punch it so that the words are showing. All right, so let's try that again. Let's try another one. So let's see. Let's do, we're pretending, okay? So this is what we've punched. All right. And then I can go in again and I can line this up and I can make this any length that I want it to be. Check that one out. Look how skinny that one is. Isn't that cool? All right, let's try one more thing. Let's see if we can do this long ways. All right, so here's my rectangle, okay? And I'm gonna get a new Post-it note. I know, it's a magic trick, I'm telling you. All right, let's see. Let's go in and let's make, what we're doing is we're gonna position it a different way, okay, in the other direction. So I'm lining it up. And now I've got a almost square postage note, okay? So you can make this, oh check, this is what's left. So you can change the height or the width of the shape of this punch, okay? It's really, really cool. Easy thing to do. Okay, well let's go ahead and stamp our snail, because we want to be able to cut him out, and we're going to use black Memento ink. And I'll just stamp it down here. Now you're going to notice that the words say, "You've got mail." So when you cut out your snail, the words are cut out, okay? So just be aware of that. All right, that when it's cut out with the die, it cuts only the snail and not the words, okay? Let's color a little bit, and we are going to use Dark Daffodil Delight. I'm just doing the outline in the Dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, and then I'll go back And I'll take the light daffodil and color that. I'll just zoom in for you so you can see a little bit better. I'm not quite done. Okay. There we go. And then for the snail, I actually did him in cinnamon cider. Now this is the dark cinnamon cider right here, okay? And I'm just gonna do an outline with the dark, okay? I couldn't really decide what color to do him. I wanted Blushing Bride, but I don't believe we have the Blushing Bride Stampin' blends. So the Petal Pink was too light. Flirty Flamingo was too dark. I'm almost thinking like a Smoky Slate might be nice for this little guy. And yes, Googly Eyes would be so stinking cute. All right, so we've colored him. And so now we're going to cut him out, and we're gonna also cut out an envelope. And you know what? Let me look at that die to see how big it is. And I know I need this. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna put these away so that I don't lose them, because that will be the very next thing that happens. I'm famous for that too. All right, so we're gonna cut out this. And so this is how much real red that I'm going to need for the mini cutter. I'm gonna zoom all the way out, and we're gonna get these two items cut. All right, just hang tight, and we'll come right on back to that. I know, me too. I love it, Mary Kay, when we can get more mileage out of our tools. It just makes it more versatile. It really does. All right, so this is for the envelope. And so I'm going to build this little same sandwich that we did the first time, okay? I love this little mini when I am working under this camera. It is amazing because it's smaller. All right, so that's gonna be the envelope. And now we're gonna do our sweet little snail. I do need to cut so that he will fit in the machine. Okay, and I know I took the die out. Here it is. And just make sure I don't have that other cutting pad. All right, now we're gonna line this up just like that, okay? And hopefully that's gonna do it. All right, and then we hold our breath. And let's see if I can get that to go through. My plates are really uneven there. So I like them actually a little closer together, but it's hard when you're trying to line it up sideways and cut it out sideways. It's not easy. So that's how your snail comes out. And I'm not talking about the adhesive. I'm talking about the actual snail. All right, we can zoom back in and we can finish our sweet card. Now this envelope, I'm just gonna fold on the score lines. And I found just using a glue dot to close the envelope works really well. So there's that glue dot. Okay, and then I'm going to close that up. There we go. And then I'm actually going to adhere this with some Seal Plus, because this is pretty thick cardstock once you get all this together. And I want it to hang on to the card. And so I'll put it about right there. All right, and we're gonna put a little Stella on our snail. Gosh, we could call our snail Stella, couldn't we? We really could. But I like Willie too. All right. All righty. And as always, that Stella is hard for you all to see. I know that. Okay. So, whoops. I dropped him. Okay. He's going to fit right in there. And let's see, what should I use? I think I can use dimensionals. And I'll just put one on him just to kind of hold him inside the envelope. Just like that. And then we're going to add some of these resin hearts again. And this one is, come on, real red right there. Okay, and then we'll add some more. These are just the sweetest. They're even cute if you don't get them straight. I mean, they're just cute. All right, whoops. And here is our last one. And I'll just put one down here. And we'll zoom out so that you can see that.